So after a 2-0 defeat here at Plainmoor, Truro City have got it all to do once again. It's great, isn't it, football? You know, the highs and the lows. Leigh Robinson's seen many, many highs, not so many lows when he was manager at Taunton Town. I wonder how he's going to react to this defeat against Hampton and Richmond Borough in the National League South. 2 goals coming in the space of 3 minutes at the end of the first half, scored by Chris Dixon, taking his tally to 8 for the Beavers, and 3 minutes later by the goal machine at Sutton United before he joined Hampton and Richmond, Craig Dundas. 2-0 to Hampton and Richmond. Leigh Robinson does join us. Leigh, you were all smiles last week after the win at Gloucester City. How times can change. I mean, they're a better team, obviously, Hampton and Richmond. We expect them to be up there. But, you know, how did you feel your team played against them? I mean, in the first half, I thought you did pretty well up to the goals.
Yeah, we just said in the change room just then that, you know, to be fair to our lads, they did an awful lot of good stuff today. And certainly in the first half an hour, we had umpteen, you know, chances, moments in the box and half chances that we didn't manage to take and didn't quite get a break in the box. And then come minute 40, you know, really with their first attack, you know, they got a bit of a break in the box and the goal goes in off the lad's knee, I think. And of course in football, goals change games. And unfortunately, against a side like Hampton who've got such, you know, pace and dynamism going forward, it's really hard to chase a game against a side like that. You know, if you're going to beat them, you need to nick a goal and try and, you know, and then defend for your lives. But it's really tough to go behind and chase it because they've got such pace on the counter attack, which does make things really difficult.
And then, if that wasn't bad enough, then they added another shortly after that. So, how did you feel at half time? Somebody said to me, one of the supporters said, even Robin Hood didn't wear a mask at the end of the first half, which I thought summed it up perfectly. What did you say to the boys at half time?
Well, we just said, you know, just like you say, you know, they have been really, really unlucky. But we, you know, try and place a lot of emphasis in being the best team in both boxes. And unfortunately, in the first half and throughout the game today, we did an awful lot of good stuff. But unfortunately, Hampton were the best team in both boxes because they had the moment of quality with the second goal when it mattered. They got the break of the ball for the first goal when it mattered, and we didn't quite have those moments today. So, you know, we had to try and wrestle that back in the second half and throw men forward and gamble a little bit. And we just felt, you know, come minute 60, 65, we had to sort of nick a goal and try and stay in it. But it just didn't quite come in the second half.
Do you think confidence was affected by, you know, the 1-2? The 1-2, you know, the 2 goals they scored late in the first half. Do you think that affected confidence going into the second half?
No, I don't think so. I think the one thing you did see today was that the fitness and the sharpness of both teams was very, very different. And we were okay when we were on top. But when their first goal and second goal came, I think fitness-wise, that does sort of suck the life out of you and sort of take the legs out of you a little bit. So, and I think as the second half went on, you saw that, you know, Hampton, like I said, have got a lot of pace and a lot of sharpness. The fitness levels for Truro still aren't anywhere near what we expect them to be or where we want them to be. And I think today, if we'd got that bit of luck when we'd needed it or when we deserved it, and you know, took the chances that we had, and in a couple of weeks' time when they're as fit as they should be, you know, it perhaps could have been a different story. But we can't, you know, sprinkle some magic dust and give them that fitness and sharpness straight away. You know, that's something that's going to have to happen over the next couple of weeks.
I know it's early days, Leigh, and you've only seen them for 2 competitive matches, but are you beginning now to discover and work out the areas that need strengthening?
Yes, but I think we were aware of that even before we came in last week, to be honest. But in all honesty, we have done an awful lot of good things today. We'll obviously, you know, go away and work hard this week going into the Hereford game. But for me as a manager, I try not to live in the moment or the day, and sort of I try and live by the bigger picture. And I think looking at last week and this week, I've seen an awful lot of good stuff. And I think overall, whilst we're disappointed to lose the game today, of course, you're always disappointed to lose any game. I've seen enough today to know that overall we're going in the right direction.
The right direction now is in the FA Cup and a very tough first qualifying round tie at Hereford. Is that a welcome break from the league? I mean, how important to you is the FA Cup?
Yeah, really important. You know, obviously you get that bit of prestige that the club had last year. We had at Taunton, obviously the year before that.
You had a good run, didn't you? 3 years ago, again when he played Barrow in the first round.
That's right. Yeah, getting to the FA Cup first round. So those days, you know, in non-league are magical and certainly very, very, very memorable. And I think going into next week, you know, it's a different experience because you're going to, you know, another big stadium with probably 4,000 people there, and the chance to play in front of a crowd like that doesn't happen very often. So one thing we do need next week is for big characters to turn up, and in what is basically the Lion's Den at Hereford. It's quite an intimidating place to go with the crowd being as it is. But if we have those big characters stand up next week, and if we, you know, work hard in training this week and get that little bit of luck when we need it, hopefully the tie will go our way.
Indeed, we wish you the best of luck.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks for your time, Leigh. Thank you. Cheers. Leigh Robinson there, the manager of Truro City. Well, he knows how to take it on the chin. Let's hope it doesn't happen very often. And obviously, at the same time, him and Michael Meeker know what needs to be done here at Truro City. Thankfully, we're only in September, so he's got plenty of time to work on this. It's a work in progress. I know you've heard it before, but it literally is here at Truro City, and let's hope it leads them out of trouble and out of the bottom three. Next week, FA Cup time, first qualifying round at Edgar Street, the home of the new Hereford FC.